said something a minute ago about like when I experienced these things, I was upset. Why did they make you upset instead of quit? You know what I mean? Instead of like give up. Because what I respect about people like you who have to like endure this and go through this is, and I tell people all the time, like even as a black male in the therapy world, the easiest thing for me to do would have to go be and do something within my community. Like I could have easily been like, you know what, I'm gonna open a barbershop. So that way I'm just interacting with, like I don't have to deal with this. Like,
Yeah.
But you kept like working in the TV industry,
Yeah.
making television content. What is it in you? What do you have?
I mean, I think at its core, and I've realized this in the last 5 years, really, of my longer journey. Failure's not an option. It just isn't. And I've never thought about quitting. I've thought about ways around things and like, and I've certainly in these last couple years have thought of like, oh gosh, like how do I pivot? Or what's plan B? Or what's, how could I design this sort of differently? But yeah, no, failure's just not, it's just, I think that's just built in me. I don't know.
Where'd you get it? Because you say something like failure is not an option, but it is. But you actually said like I never thought about it, and like it's just built in me. Where did that get installed into you? This idea that failure is not an option.
Well, I discovered therapy about 5 years ago. But again, within the last 2 years, really, I think things have become a little bit clearer for me about why. And I actually went into therapy thinking like, I want to know why I've made the choices I've made, because I've sort of just done it. Like I just kind of power my way through to get what I've thought I've wanted. And then I thought, okay, wait, why have I made the decisions I've made in my life? And I think, honestly, I grew up in, and I do think kind of all roads go back to childhood, right? It's sort of like, how were you raised? How were you treated by your mother, father, one or both or none? And I grew up in a really strict Catholic household, and my father was a very sort of old school patriarch. My mother, a crazy Colombian who, screamed a lot and was very dramatic, which is probably where my dramatic storytelling comes from. But I had 2 older brothers. And then when I sort of knew enough to kind of figure out what was going on, I realized that there was just a lot of attention on these 2 boys. And then here I was like the girl. And so a lot of my life has been like, well, wait a minute, I'm just as good. I do just as well. I got all the grades. I got all the, constantly just doing to get, recognized or the attention, and maybe never got it. So that I think just kind of propelled me into adulthood. And then I just sort of, I've kind of always known what I've wanted. And so I just sort of, I think full throttle just have gone for it and figured it out.